I want to offer a small prayer here to get us started, a prayer to unconditional love. May unconditional love find its way into the words and thoughts that I weave together here on this video. Let unconditional love find its way into the ears and hearts of whoever may listen to this. Let unconditional love fill this entire space like a bubble of energy that's here to come back to anytime. Unconditional love, please guide me to offer what is in the highest good at this time. Thank you even for creating that pause and the moment of deep breathing that it allowed. Dear angels, please help to lift the burden or trouble that might have come along into this space. Please hold it so that even for a short time, while in this space, we can release anything that's heavy, anything that feels like a weight on us. Dear angels, please lift it off. Hold it for us. So, I want to begin with a bit of my own story around something that I myself am working on right now. And that is going with the flow, for one thing. My card just flew off the table. Going with the flow, releasing the grip I have on wanting so badly to help that I find myself in control mode, trying to work it all out to get the outcome that I want in the physical, which is usually trying to help somebody else get a better outcome in their physical. I think that's why they say that, wanting to be of service is one of the slipperiest spiritual ego traps that we can find ourselves in, because it's such a noble cause, wanting to help other people. And loud and clear, I know for certain that helping other people is who we are at our core. Kind of all of us. You know, if you really get down into your heart, down into your soul, that bit of source energy, infinite intelligence that connects all life on this planet, if you really sink into that level, there's nothing but generous, unconditional love, a bottomless well of it that is, I think, at the core who we all really are. And so I think the surface level desire to help other people is so close to the authentic nature of who we are that it's so easy to want to skip straight there. And serving other people, I want to phrase this really intentionally, because like I said, I'm very much speaking from inside what I am currently working on and sharing it in case it is helpful for your own personal journey, your own reflection. But for me, serving others has been a journey of successfully doing that and unsuccessfully doing that, and studying the reasons why sometimes when I go to be of service, it feels divine, like I'm living from my soul. And other times when I go to help or be of service, it feels like there's a cheese grater grating on my soul by the way people react to what I'm offering. And their reaction would have me believe that I shouldn't have helped them. And that was always very confusing to me, because like on a core level, I'm a helper. So like, how am I not going to help you? What do you mean? Like, I can't help you because look at you, you need help, obviously, and I can help you, so let me help you. And I think that's where it really does come down to be like wanting to be of service is a spiritual ego trap, because in wanting to help them, it is a distraction from my own deeper wounding. That there is like an element for me sometimes, not all the time, in sometimes when I'm seeking to be of service, I guess that's a good way to put it. Like when I'm seeking to be of service, when I'm like heading out into the world with my toolbox and like, all right, who's gonna let me help them? Like, where's somebody that I can help? And like that kind of like assertive approach, like usually doesn't get me very good results. Like I'm seeking to be of service, and I think why that is, and again, I'm very much only speaking from inside my world. I don't know about your world. Human archetypes, though, I gotta think, like some of this is sinking in or resonating or whatever. So there's an element of wanting to like source my sense of value and self-worth from being an effective helper, you know, like being a good helper, getting good outcomes, helping people to make improvements in their world, and having them tell me what a good helper I am. Like that's how I'll know that I'm doing good, I'm adding value. And that's what I was looking for in seeking to be of service. And what I've opened myself up to is when I am seeking to be of service, redirecting that inwardly and more or less asking myself, what is it that you really need here? Instead of thinking like, who can I help? What can I do? What can I give? How can I help somebody else improve their world? How could I, in this right now moment, instead of looking to fill something inside of myself by creating good for somebody else, how can I just create good for myself and cut out the middleman? Because when I go out into the world and need somebody else to be helped by my services, I'm setting up a dynamic where the universe basically has to push back on me, because it doesn't work like that. Seeking to be of service can only work inside of ourselves. Like, seeking to be of service is asking yourself, what do you need in this moment? And how can I help you? A relationship between you and you, whether that's you and your inner child, like your inner child, your inner parent, your human consciousness and your higher self or whole self, however you choose to think about it, your inner being. There's an inner relationship between the one who needs it is part of you, and the one who's gonna fill that need is also part of you. So that dynamic there is what needs service. Like, when I'm wanting to go out into the world and seek to be of service or fix something or solve something or correct something out in the world that I see, when I reach to do that, what I'm truly doing is ignoring this dynamic inside of me, which does need service, and I'm hoping gets soothed by the person telling me that I'm doing a good job. So that's all my own dynamic, and that's, 11 minutes of it. And I wanted to add that because I think this is something that is like highly universal, because at the heart of what I'm talking about inside of myself, inside of like redirecting these energies and this caring and nurturing and wanting to help and wanting to be of service, pointing it at myself brought up basically every ounce of my own self-worth. I don't want to say like issues, or like basically like the small amount of self-worth that I was working with at that early phase. It couldn't sustain my attention being on myself. I was not worthy of my own attention, and that was the real problem. And digging into like, that worthiness gets thrown around a lot and is kind of an abstract concept, but like on a practical level, how that looked for me was like, I really didn't like myself. I had a laundry list of complaints about who I was. And so when I went to say like, who am I? It was all the stuff that I hated most about myself. It was all the stuff that if I could only go back and like do it again, I wouldn't have done it that way. I wish I could be different. Why am I not different? He's different. How come I can't be different? Like, it was all of that stuff was like my core identity. And so to take my help, which feels so valuable to me, I know I'm a good helper. I really do at the core of my being know that. And to give it to myself felt like such a waste. Alarm, alarm, alarm. And that's about how loud they sounded early on. It was like, no big deal. Like, this is normal. Everybody's hard on themselves. Like, we're all our own worst critic. If everybody else is jumping off the bridge, do you want to jump off the bridge? Like, like, just because something is normal in the world does not make it a great way to operate your life. And so for me, like, these last several years have really been about turning inward and really healing my self-image. Like, when I think, who am I in this world? Who do I show up in the world as? Now I see the beauty in what I offer. I practice actively humility, which says I can absolutely count my blessings. I can absolutely take stock of my superpowers and my strengths and all of the ways that I am strong in this world and unique and beautiful. And I am also very aware of what I am not. I'm very aware of where my own limitations lead me to the edges of what I'm capable of and into the territory of where I will be able to receive help from someone else.